Okay, this is 7 questions that every Christian leader should answer. And I've written down 7 questions, and if you consider yourself a Christian leader, then this video is for you. And these are just important questions that I think you should ponder and hopefully have some kind of an answer to. And so I wrote them down. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to read this. Number one, what is Christian maturity and how do you get it? If we're going to lead people toward Christian maturity, we need to know what it is. So, what is it? How do you get it? And I'm going to suggest that trying real hard to be good is not an adequate answer. Number two, how do you disciple a nation? Matthew 28, we find the Great Commission. Jesus commands us to disciple nations. So how do we disciple a nation? Are we discipling our nation? If not, why not? And if we are, what are we doing well? What are we doing poorly? Does Christianity have the influence God wants it to have over our culture? And if not, why not? What opportunities could we be overlooking? Question number 3. Why do people sin and how do they stop? And listen, I think it's a real cop-out just to say people sin because they have a sin nature. I don't think that grapples with the real issues. You can't close the lid on the question after saying that. Why are some people caught in addictions while others are not? And why do some people struggle lifelong with certain sins while others just don't? And are the ones who overcome, are they better Christians, better people? Or is something else going on? What are the real dynamics here? And how does the grace of God work in real life? It's a very important question, and I think it's one that we really need to have an answer to. Question number 4, what do we do about churchless Christians? Why have 100 million Christians, 100 million Americans, stepped away from church? What drove them away? And what opportunities does that create for us moving forward? And along with that, what is the purpose of the church? Why is it here? What would we lose if it went away? Okay, page 2, question 5. How do you provide hope and help for survivors of abuse, and specifically sexual abuse? 38% of women, 17% of men are survivors of childhood sexual abuse. It's one of the enemy's favorite tactics, and no wonder, it creates dozens of problems for adult survivors. So what can you do to bring hope, help, healing to survivors? And here's a hint. Spouting off a few Bible verses, telling people to forget the past, getting people to confess sins. Not only do these approaches not work, but it's a form of bullying. It's not a form of ministry. So, how do you provide hope for survivors of abuse? Number 6, question 6, how do we end the divide? Our culture is polarized by politics, race, culture, ideology. And Christians likewise are divided, despite the prayer of Jesus in John 17 that we would be one. So how do we end the divide? And I have a clue for all of us. Trying to get the other side to agree with us, trying to shut them down, does not work. We've been trying that. It doesn't work. We've been trying that for centuries. It does not work. So we need a better plan. What is that better plan? And question number 7, what's good about the good news? The gospel is supposed to be the good news. So why is it good? How does it help? What doesn't it help? Along with that, do we have our message right? Is the gospel really only about our judicial relationship with God, or is it about something else? So anyway, those are 7 questions that I think are really important for every Christian leader to answer. If you're curious about my answers to those questions, just let me know, and I'll be happy to weigh in. They're they're not easy questions to answer, and it may take me quite a while to answer each one, but I do have answers, and I think it is important that we think these through. Anyway, I hope these thoughts are helpful to you. I'm Dwight Clow. Much love from my home to yours. Have a fantastic week.